Hey guys, welcome to Global Dance Supreme Sessions. I've got the next gen of females here, the next generation of awesome females who are killing it in the scene. We have Verushka, hey, and we have
Hi.
Jess and Mikaela.
Hi. Hi.
Hey guys. How are you doing? I always start my interviews by asking, how are you doing now? Because this is not a same, like normally we see each other and we go, hey, how are you doing? And it's like, oh, fine. But this is COVID.
Yeah.
How are you guys surviving?
V, you want to go first?
Okay, yeah, sure, I'll go first. I'm trying to keep my mental health at a good place right now because we're all in isolation. So it's not like, we have our friends to remind us of how great we are or anything like that. So I'm trying to take initiative by myself and just remind myself that better days are coming, or this time will pass eventually. And just trying to keep occupied and being productive with schoolwork and things like that. So
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I think we're the same, hey? I think for us it's just a thing of knowing, actually got given a chance to actually just take a breath, relax, gather ourselves, and just take a moment to just have a break. It's nice to just actually get a break for once and just but at the same time you move at your own speed, so you're like, okay, I've got my own time, let me do it at my own pace, at my own speed, and just get your time to relax, also be responsible with your time, and know, okay, for us people that are still in school, we have our time to do school, we have a time to relax, and then also do our own little extramural things like dance for a couple of hours a day. Just learn how to just manage our time a bit more as well.
Yeah, it's funny because in life, normally you just go with it, and you don't realize when life comes to like a halt, you go like, oh wow, this time is really needed to just stop and go. Even though you're in school, I feel like school's the most there's so much to manage, like everything from extramurals to school to subjects to what you want to do in the future. There's so much more, and you don't realize how much you need it.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, who are you guys? For anyone who's never seen you guys or knows you guys and is watching this now, who are you? What do you do? Tell us a bit about your dance journey and where you're from.
Okay, should I go first?
Yeah, it's gonna roll like that.
Okay, so my name is Verushka Rangasamy. I'm 16 years old, born on the 20th of May 2004. I've been dancing since I'm small. Like, I think even before I was in a dance studio, I was dancing. So I've been dancing for like all my life. I'm from Pretoria, and I love traveling, and I just love dancing so much. I love who I am when I'm dancing. So yeah.
Awesome.
You can go next. Me? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go next. I'm Mikaela Ekstein. I'm 16 years old. I'm from Johannesburg, and I also love to travel, and I love to dance, and I love animals, and Nice. I'm Jessica Mikaela. I'm turning 17 on October 1st. I think same as Verushka, I've always been a dancer at heart. So I only started dancing when I was 10 years old. So I've only been doing it for 6.5 years, not as long as most. I think for me, I'm a very calm person. I'm not very energetic as most people. I love to travel, same as Mix. I think everybody likes to travel.
Loves to travel.
It's just it's a lovely thing. It's a great thing. Just go overseas, do some travel over there.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm a very calm person. I love dancing too. I love who I am as a dancer. I want to be a lawyer, if that makes sense.
Love it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I always want to know what people want to do. Like you always just, when you see each other in the dance scene, you're just like, oh, they're gonna dance. But I'm like, someone asked me in an interview the other day, they were like, what would you do if you weren't dancing? I'm like, I would have been like an FBI person. I love that, undercover investigating. And everyone's like, what? I'm like, no, seriously, I love figuring out things, and I love that stuff. Anyway, so lawyer, go for it, girl. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So, how did you guys start dancing? What what grabbed you? A lot of my generation, it's like, you got served. I don't know what it is in the younger generation sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes you're exposed to actually just the industry right in front of you. A lot of us weren't really. So how did you start dancing?
Okay, so I was always the child that was dancing like at family functions and things like that. And then one day I remember I was in grade 2 and I walked in the room and my father was on the phone. And when he got off the phone, I was like, Daddy, who are you speaking to? And he was like, I was speaking to your new dance coach. And then that happened to be Auntie A, which was my dance coach for like how many years? I think 4 years, 3 years. And then I remember I was doing a street formation with Auntie A, but Michelle Oppenshaw was choreographing that. And then I fell into Michelle's dance studio. Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey.
Yeah.
For us, it was never really a set thing of actually starting to dance because we wanted to do that. So we both actually never really been sporty people. So we never really liked like netball or those other sports. We were normally just like, school, go home, chill. We were one of those kids.
Yeah.
So I had a close friend back when I was still in primary school, and his sister had just started at a small studio in the south. And I was like, you know what, let me just do it. I have free time, might as well just do something at least. And I happen to be really good at it, and I don't like being by myself. So I decided, for me, because I wasn't into sport either. And then when my sister started dancing, I was like, you know what, I don't want you to do it by yourself. So I was like, let me just do it with her. And then I ended up sticking with it. So. Yeah, we ended up dancing together at that studio, but we didn't really like the studio we were at because it was moving at a very slow pace. Because by then we actually really enjoyed dancing and we wanted to bet ourselves. Because we weren't growing. Yeah, so then we got into contact with MGL from Creed, and he did some choreo for us for competitions. And we just really liked the way he taught and like the mindset he had within dancing. You actually need to put all your effort in. It wasn't just a thing, okay, dance is just like a side thing you do on a Saturday. It's like I don't even know, like a lifestyle, So we decided, maybe let's just try him out. So we moved to Creed and we've been enjoying it ever since. And then we started at our school, Parktown, because Parktown has a dance team. So then we decided, let's just go there as well. And that's our extramural from school, and we do it outside of school.
Nice. That's awesome. Oh, you're busy, eh? So you guys compete. I know you do. So tell me a little bit about your first competitions. Tell me about some of the competitions that have been the most hectic for you, or competitions that you maybe want to enter. And this includes internationally, if you have entered anywhere internationally.
Okay, so my first competition was, I think it was Hip Hop Day. That was my first competition. I entered the solo section. And I also entered for crew, for the formation, the formation section. And one of my toughest competitions, I think, was IDO, overseas. That's because there's so many participants, so it's like, it's round after round after round. It's actually scary that there's so many people competing. But I think from each one of those competitions, you learn something very valuable that you take with you to the next competition.
Of course.
The next competition that I'm looking forward to doing is definitely for future. I want to do Summer Forever, like the summer competition overseas. And then now once that's coming, I think it's global that's coming now. I definitely want to do global. Yeah,
definitely global shout out.
You guys? We did Dynamo. It's a very small competition. The studio we were at was not really like a hip hop studio. It was just dance in general. So we did Dynamo was our first ones. We just did like duos and groups and whatever. We weren't really solo dancers back then. So we did those, and then we started going into the Supreme Dance of the Year ones, and then we went into the Hip Hop Day ones, and then we eventually moved to our like the Battle of the Giants, HHI and stuff. And then HHI has probably been our like best experience within like dance, because we've been able to travel to Vegas and to Arizona. 2016 and 2018, and then probably the one we're looking forward to the most is probably doing either global dance, but also Dance Star to go to Croatia. We've been wanting to do that for a very long time.
Nice. So when you guys say competing, do you find yourselves, I know you said you started out not doing solos, or do you find yourself competing as a soloist at most competitions?
No, mostly crews, to be honest. I'm not much of a solo person, just because I'm not much of a freestyler. I love doing it occasionally, but I'm not like the biggest fan of it. I'm more into choreography, and I love learning from other people's like story, because I tend to think like choreography is a story to me. And when people come and teach me their own choreo, it fascinates me to know, like, how that person listened to this song and then just came up with that to mix with it. So just like, I love the storyline that everybody teaches me, and then also just learning how to move like someone else. It like fascinates me. So that I've always been a choreography person, and she just followed suit, I guess, from being and yours.
Yeah. Awesome. And Verushka, you on the other side, I see you out there by yourself a lot.
I was just about to say I'm the exact opposite, because
opposites.
I freestyle like for days.
So days.
And that's difficult because as someone who freestyles, we find difficulty in actually choreographing. So it's kind of like what you call strengths are swapped, like whereas they could be excellent at choreo and I could be terrible at choreo. So
So okay, with you guys being in a different type of fields, what do you feel as a young female in our industry? What do you feel, I don't know, but like Verushka, my question would be, do you find it really intimidating as a soloist female, as a young female, competing against all these males that you might know how they, even if you don't even know how great they are, or what competition you have? Are you intimidated by them? That would be your question. But for you girls, it would be the same thing. Like, either working in a team, do you find like you need to work extra hard as a female to show your strength to kind of become the forefront of a team sometimes? Because do you feel that as females?
Definitely, especially since we're part of a mega crew that's all girls as well. That's our school team, showing up the strength in just being females. And then also, I don't know if you noticed, but majority of Creed has always been men. And it's been like, the power, the masculinity of men and stuff. So trying to sort of go away from the thing of dance masculinity can only be men. Like saying, okay, well, only men can crump, or only men can be as hard hitters as, So for us, it's just a thing of, especially in groups, when you're saying, okay, well, the male group is like stronger, or they hit things harder, whereas the females don't, So trying to get away from that
stereotype.
That stereotype is kind of difficult, especially with the choreography wise, because you could say, okay, the men are going to do it one way, and then you need to do it the other way, and then they say, okay, who's stronger? Whereas I don't think it needs to be like that anymore, because it's a different type of strength, in my opinion.
Totally. Verushka?
So I wouldn't say I'm intimidated by the males within the dance industry. I think it's because for as long as I've been dancing, I always knew, or I always had it in me, that I was dancing as an individual, and what I had to offer was different to what anyone else had to offer. So male or female, I was never intimidated. In fact, Michelle always told me if I was going against a male, I actually used to dance harder than ever, which was crazy to me, because some females like back down or feel threatened when a male approaches them or anything. I was never like that.
That's amazing. that's so good. Like it's funny because like what you guys are saying when you're saying like there's this stereotype where we're taught sometimes, like I've been asking this question a lot, like where do we feel like the stereotype was taught, like that it's a male dominating industry? And sometimes we have such, like you guys have mentors who are males and people who you kind of interact with and are learning from, that are really encouraging and amazing. So it's like, it's not always a thing of, the males are doing this. It's just when you go out as a female, it suddenly it becomes like oh my gosh, it's amazing, there's females doing it amazing, where it's like, did we need to be shouted out just because we're female? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you guys like you feel that way. And I mean, you guys, like you were saying, but do you believe that we have to work harder for it sometimes because of our physical being, or do you think it's just you see the platform as the same and you've got to just, you know, keep going? I don't know. Because there's always this thing of, oh, guys do it stronger. They'll get there and they'll be stronger.
I like to think that we on the same platform. We get told we're not, but I like to think that we are, and I just like proving them wrong, if you know what I mean. So I'm like, you know what, I see it my way, and I'm going to continue being the dancer I am, and I'm not going to try and be something I'm not by like making myself something better than what I think I am, because I know I am doing my best already as I am. So for me, I'm like, you know what, we're on the same platform whether you like it or not. You have an idea that you're better than us, and that's okay, because, you know, I could also have the same opinion. So I'm just saying, you know what, I'm going to keep on doing me. I'm not going to try and work myself to death just to try and boost the opinion of females, because I feel like, you know what, the platform is hip hop. It's not male hip hop. It's just, you know what, we won.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
So yeah, I definitely agree with what Jess was saying. Like, to believe that we are on the same platform. It's just very unfortunate that sometimes females do have to work a little bit harder because of the narrative that males they form in their brains, you know. Like, you can look at an industry and be like, it does seem like males dominate the sector of the industry. So sometimes, I do believe that it's unfortunate, but females do sometimes have to work harder within this industry, or not even within this industry specifically, within many other factors in like industry specifically. Yeah.
But that also just it comes down to things that have been taught to us, like you know, it's just behaviors that we've started to understand, like, oh, okay, well, this is how it is, and it's like, no, that's not how it has to be. We're all equal.
Exactly.
You know. Do you guys have mentors in the industry? If you do, who are they? Or role models, if they are not mentors that you actually know? Or do you have role models in the industry, and who are these people?
Definitely. Mix and I are very much into whacking as the style whacking, and recently we got into contact with a woman called Megan Sawyer. We got into contact through one of our other mentors, Cleo, and she's just like, wow, she's blown us away. We didn't know of her before we met him, but we got into knowing her, and she just showed us like a different mindset, you know, and just showed us the basics. She's been one of the only people that have actually like started from the beginning of whacking, and actually showed us, like, you know what, this is what it's actually about, and said, you know what, let's just teach you guys from the beginning, because when some of us actually haven't started from the beginning, we just got put in a placement and we're like, okay, do it now. But other than Megan, we just love our mentors at Creed, like the Theos, the Blaze, the MGL, and even like Michelle. Michelle's been like, she hasn't been like a direct mentor to us, but obviously seeing her in the public and whatever, we look at her and we see her as a role model, you know. So
that's amazing. Shout out.
Yeah. For me personally, so I mean, I'm sure, as you can tell, I've been mentioning Michelle's name, but yes, Michelle is definitely like one of the main people who motivated me and things like that. Within what I was doing in my dancing career, and within like what I was doing with my life in general. She always pushed me to see the best in myself and to bring out the best in myself. I also look up to people like Theo that was mentioned, Theo, Jay Springfield, also known Tabo, Paul as well. Paul is one of the people that I haven't been like in his lessons 24/7, but when I watch him dance, it's like, you know, like when you watch someone dance and you feel it in your soul, it's like, wow, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, those are the people.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Those are amazing people. What are your favorite styles? I know you guys mentioned whacking. Is that your favorite style? Do you have other favorite styles?
Whacking and locking, I think. Locking just because it's so much fun doing. Like, you just know, okay, I'm going to have a smile on my face when I'm doing this style. So locking, and then just whacking because of the, like, you just get to use your own feminine side, you know, and add your own little flavor to it. So those are ours.
Awesome.
My favorite style is hip hop. I want to say my favorite style for now is hip hop. I think it's because there's a few like rules and guidelines within each style. So I like when I learned hip hop, I was taught to like expand in all kinds of spaces with the style, and I haven't mastered that with like whacking, locking, house and things like that, whereas with hip hop I'm completely free. So once I master being completely free and open with like each of the different styles, I think I can definitely select another style to be like my favorite.
Totally.
But for the moment, hip hop's like my number one.
But let me just say, you're locking. Gosh dang, that puts a smile on my face. Let me just tell you that.
Love it.
Thank you.
Sweet, man. Are you what was I going to ask you now? What was I going to ask you? For the dance scene, for you guys coming into the dance scene fresh, underneath your mentors or people that you look up to, what do you feel is amazing about our dance scene? But then what do you feel could change or be better?
I think what's amazing about it is just like being free. So there's not much, I don't even know how to, like with competitions, for example, just knowing, you know, even though there's like groups of people and they all have like their own little like cliques or whatever, we all like VNR. We're not in the same studio or anything, but when we see each other, you know, hip-hop's got like this family vibe to it, you know. It's like, hey, we're competitors, but you know what? You're still my family in a way, and I still speak to you every now and then, you know. But I think something like that can change in terms of like competition-wise. With hip-hop, there's a lot of like variety, if you know what I mean, like for like scoring purposes or whatever. It's just very up and down and all over the place. Sometimes I feel like we could just use a certain structure in terms of like markings, or I don't even know. It's just, I feel like at every competition it's so different. So when you go into a competition, you actually don't know what to expect, and that way you end up losing out in the long run, because you know you've come from this competition that wanted this, and then you come to this competition with the same thing, but they wanted something completely different. And it's just it's frustrating, but it's also good because you learn things at different ones, because they all want something different, but at the same time you lose out a lot because of it. So
Totally.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, with me, so something that's amazing for me in the dance industry, I'd say, and like within competitions in general, is just the different kind of flavors that each person brings, you know, on competition days, during workshops, just in general, like the flavors that people bring it's like a variety of different sources, and it's so cool to see sometimes when people incorporate that like within formations, because like choreography, I don't think it can look the same on every single person, so it's nice to see like a different source on every single different individual. And then something I believe that, like, you know, we could add or anything like that, I think crew battles would be so sick, because
we need more
vibes, you know, the more vibes within people, because when you battle, it's like a connection. So the more people you have here and the more people you have here, it's just so much more vibes. For real.
Totally. Even just like a 3-on-3, more 3-on-3s.
Yes, exactly.
Even just that would add. No, totally. There needs to be more categories like that. So when you guys say that you feel there's like the energy when you go to comps and when you see each other, the community is really close. Do you feel like you guys, like you're separate and different studios, but when you see each other, it's always good vibes, happy flavors? Do you feel like it's like that in your generation with all the females?
No.
Definitely.
I feel like there's a
that was a quick answer.
I don't know what it is, but there is a very big gap in some places. I feel like I go to some competitions and there's certain, I wouldn't say age categories, but there's just like certain people, I just feel like there's a very big gap between a lot of people. There's not much, like as much as there's like a big, like, you know, happiness and good energy a lot of the time, there is some places where there's just like, sometimes I feel like it's like a big judgment cloud over the whole competition.
Sure.
Everyone just sort of like this down thing of like, okay, I'm competing now, this is my space, nobody needs to come here, or, you know, it's sort of like that mentality, like it's a competition, we're not here to be buddy, we're here to work, you know. So I feel like it needs to change a bit more, and we need to support one another a lot more, and just be like, you know what, you're my competitor, but look at you, I can grow from you, You know,
Yeah,
like
totally.
if he and I were doing the same section, I wouldn't look at her like, okay, you're my competitor. It's more like like I'm looking at you. I'm like, you know what? I can learn from you as well. Like I'm competing against you, but look what you're doing. I'm like, okay, wow, she's doing that well. Let me, you know. So it's not a thing of, okay, let me be nasty and like beat her down and make her, you know, feel less than. It needs to be let's boost each other up more. I feel like that's what we need a lot more in comps.
So you feel like the competitive attitude doesn't change from when the competition's done? It kind of is maintained.
I feel like certain people it does, but then other people it doesn't. You know, it's like this. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like there's a certain group of people that maybe don't get along, or sometimes I feel like that a lot of the time, and I'm just trying to get out of that. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you, Verushka, how do you feel?
So I agree with everything that was mentioned. I do believe that, you know, some females attend competitions for their own purposes and like their own reasons, and but they turn that purpose as to why they are there into some kind of a reason to compete with others. I mean, I get it, it's a competition, but there shouldn't be, you know, I think females understand the hate we receive from any other gender. So why are we bringing other females down?
Ourselves,
If anything, we're supposed to be supporting one another and be sympathetic, because it's not easy being a female, and it's not easy being a female in the dance industry as well.
Yeah,
100%.
Totally. So you feel like there is definitely a lack of support for each other, as like, unless it's your own circle. It's for females. If anything, sometimes you feel the lack of support more from females than from males.
I don't know. I've never been. Our studio is not really female based, like in terms of like mentors. We majority got males, and so I don't know. I think it just depends on who you surround yourself with. There's a lot of, I guess you could say that it depends on the female mentor, I guess. But a lot of the judgment comes from the male side if you're looking at it in terms of who's more. I feel like it's more from the male side than the female side, but the female side should try and, you know, help each other out a bit more because
come together, yeah, totally.
I think it's based on the day, like, and the vibes on that day of the competition, because there's been many scenarios where the females are fine with each other, and then the males are the ones, you know, who are a little off today. But then there's also other days where there's females who are deciding to support you, and then there's males who are like on the game supporting you. So I think it's a matter of choosing, you know. But bottom line is support everyone. There's no need to compete with, you know, just be supportive of everyone.
Totally, that was actually my next question. I was going to say, how do you feel you as yourself would, like, when you say we should support each other, or females should unite a lot more and be there for each other and not see everything as a competition all the time, how do you as a person, as a dancer and as a female, how do you want to make that change in your life so that you can feel like you achieve that?
I feel like as females, us saying, you know, we should support females, it's sort of like going backwards. Yeah. Because it's like, why must we just support the females if what we want is equality? If we want equality, we need to set an example and say, you know what, we're not only supporting females, we're supporting everybody because it's one platform. So the more people start to realize, you know, let's not boost them, just make equality one time. There's no need for, you know, let's just do this and then, you know, maybe it's like it'll even itself out. Just do it one time. Everybody just needs to support each other all together. There's no, okay, we need to do one a bit more and help females out, because females wouldn't be weak if the men didn't put us down, you know, or if we didn't allow ourselves to think that we're weaker, because we're not. So if we just stop thinking in that mindset of, you know, if we allow them to stop thinking of us as weaker, we'll get stronger. It's just, everybody just needs to think the same.
I also think that competition doesn't necessarily have to be an ugly thing. competition can be fun. Like I can compete with you and have so much fun.
Yeah.
We can compete with each other and have fun. If you watch battles, it is not always cases where people are like fighting with one another. It's a connection. It's very fun. So that's why I said like it's a decision. Yeah, it's a decision whether you want to. How are you gonna make this battle turn out, or how are you gonna spread positivity or negativity towards this competitive environment? Because there's already competitiveness. So what are you going to do? Are you going to add positivity or negativity? And I think that when it comes to support, when it comes to support, it's not difficult. It's not difficult at all. It doesn't take much out of an individual to show that another individual has this, and you're gonna do well. A compliment takes nothing out of someone. Exactly. So that's why
type of thing starts with us. Like if we start doing that, like you said, a compliment takes nothing. So if we start to do that to other people, we'll find a culture of that becoming really normal, and you'll just find everyone just complimenting each other too much, and it happens like that because we all love. And we're all going for the same goal and growing together. So it starts with us kind of supporting each other, like showing it from the start.
For sure.
Which is amazing, which is what you were saying, Jess, when you were saying like if we all just see each other the same and have the same mindset, then we can all interact the same, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Tell me about any competitions that you've won, some of your best achievements, some of your best highlights.
Well, when we won the first ever inter-schools with our school team, Labyrinth. And I was also part of Creek Queens in Global Dance in 2018, where we won the Duchess section.
That was the first time she ever got money for comp. She was so happy about that.
Yes.
I've won a couple duets. I've been part of many different duets. I've been with a male partner. I've been with my sister. I've been with my new partner, LSG, my bestie over there. We won 3 years in a row at Supreme Dance of the Year in WTC section. And then LSG and I basically just started being duet partners last year. And we won our first Battle of the Giants duet section for WTC. I was very happy about that.
Yeah.
We've won a couple group sections, just to name a few. I don't know. Yeah, that's about it.
Yay. Good winners around you, eh?
Okay, so with me, I can't remember what year it was, but I won my Battle of the Giants. I won my solo section. And then when we traveled to Cape Town, I won my all-style section and my solo section. And then with my deal partner, shout out to Aiden Freya, we won our, Aiden and I won our deal section, I think for Battle of the Giants, quite a while. And then I think 108 we also won. And also I won my solos. I think it was all-style battles that I won for, I won first place for that one.
Hey.
And traveling for IDO and HHI overseas.
Yeah. Amazing. And what are some of your dreams as a dancer? If I had to tell you now, like if you had to work hard and any possibility or going anywhere, like you can take like when we go like, I really want to do this, but if you could take all the buts away and you could follow a dream for dance, what would that dream be? Or like achievement, if you want to get, what are your goals for
Yes, see, that's a big one.
To be in a music video.
We'd love to be in a music video. I'm not even gonna lie, that would be great. And then I think we would love to just be able to travel and go to different dance studios and workshops. I just love to go to different places because I feel like every country and every place has a different vibe and stuff that you can learn from.
Yes,
and
totally.
like someone I look up to a lot is Kenny Waldman. My God, that guy blows me away. Like I wanna go there. And the people that teach there, Delaney Glazier, oh my gosh, that woman, that woman, I can watch her all day. there's certain people I just like Scott Forsyth. There's so many people I would just love to learn
For sure.
from and stuff like that. So for
Awesome.
me, it would just be traveling and learning from different
From those
people all over
people.
the world. That's my dream. Not even about like backstage dancer or it's not what I just want to learn from different people, no matter where I am. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so for me, I want to formulate a kind of teaching method in which dancers speak about what's going on in their heads, because I feel like most of the time people are very distinct as to dance is a physical sport, but not understanding that when you're dancing, you're actually thinking about like angles, direction, timing, levels. A lot is going through your brain, and that's why it's so easy for people to like forget choreo or like mix up their freestyles, things like that, and I wanna get in people's heads and discover or understand what's their thinking process, and assist people in just easing it out with how they dance and things like that.
That's amazing. Sure, you guys. I'm super inspired by you guys. I could ask you many questions. I go on for days. No, really. Like you guys are like, from me. Like, shout out to you guys for being amazing and young, strong, independent females who don't care about what the world says about whatever gender or whatever, because those things don't matter. The fact is that you're following your dream, you're working hard, just as hard as everyone else, and like, as young females, you are seen. I'm telling you, you guys are seen, and you're inspiring us, like, and everyone else, for what you do. And I know that you look up to a lot of people, but we're learning so much from you guys every day. Like, it's just hearing where your guys' hearts are at, and what you feel about life, about the industry, about traveling. Like, traveling so young, I love it. I'm a traveler. Like, if I can go anywhere, like I'm just like, yeah, cool, work hard, buy that plane ticket, go learn, train, go. You'll see, like, people don't know where I am sometimes, because I'm like, I'm just on that mission, and I just love hearing where your guys' hearts are at. It's inspiring, like, really, really inspiring. Sure.
Thank you.
No, it's only, thank you guys for your time. But last question, and you can add in like a shout out if there's anyone you want to shout out to, shout them out. But also, I want to ask you guys, for a generation that comes after you, what have you learned that you could pass on to them? What would you say to the younger generation that's coming up underneath you, or that you've learned now, or learning as you go? What would you want to say to them?
Oh, that's a tough one. Let me think about this.
Think about it. Because the reason I ask this question is, people don't often ask the younger generation this question. Whereas I know if someone asks me, I'm going to tell you something that I wish someone told me when I was your age. But at your age now, there are amazing things that you guys are learning, that there are people who can learn from what you would want to say, like. So
I think for me, I don't know what it is, but a lot of people like my age tend to look up to a lot of people and try and be them, or like emulate what they do. So if I had to look at other people, I'd just be like, you know what? Just be you, because a lot of people are trying to be other people, and it's a real problem. Like, even for myself, like, I look up to some people and I'm like, you know what, I just wish I could be you. I'll never be, like, I don't care who I am, I just want to be you. Like, you know what, you're so much better, and you can, you just got that thing about you that I just want that. Whereas I think the new generations, because if you just try and be yourself, there's so much that other people can learn from you. And you can learn from other people, but still be a different person, if you know what I mean. So I feel like the next generation just needs to stop worrying about what everybody else is doing, and just worry about yourself and grow as an individual. Because a lot of the time we just like hold on to someone and like, okay, let's grow together. But you need to learn how to just grow on your own and just flourish on your own. And then once you've learned who you are, or you know exactly what your plans are, what your ideas are, and everything like that, then you can worry about, growing bonds with other people and growing with that person in a way, That's
awesome.
I would say not to take anything personal. because not just in the dancing industry, but in life in general, because I feel like most of the time there's so many indirect things that are being said or indirect actions that are taking place. And if it was personal and serious, someone would have come to you and brought it to your attention. But obviously it's not that personal or it's not that serious, so don't take it personally.
Yeah.
It's not that deep.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And Mikaela, what are your thoughts?
For me, I would say take constructive criticism for me, because I'm the type of person who will get like offended by someone that's like picking on me specifically. So I feel like that's a big one for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, I could write a book with you guys. So thank you guys so much for coming, for doing this interview. I felt like we just had a chat around on the couch. I'm cozy on my couch here. Yeah, keep pushing. Like I said, I mean I told you guys already. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep your head high. Don't let anyone stop you. And just keep shining. I think as people in the industry, and then I will also say as females in the industry, the one thing we have like all agreed on is that we don't feel the same type of support from all females. So it starts with us. So like from here, let's smile more, open up more, have this type of conversation around each other more, like and make that extra effort, or comment on each other's stuff more, or follow each other and those type of things. It's so small, but it actually shows a big difference in our industry where I hope for this question, especially like in Women's Month, like this question to never be that answer anymore, like in the future, where it's like, oh, do you feel like all the females are united? Your immediate answer was no, like, and I know that it's like that with everyone. And I just say, like, for us, let's all be together. I love the vibe that like you guys have, like in different spaces. Obviously you guys are together and family, but it's just the way that, like, when Verushka, you were saying something about your dancing, and then Jess is like, but you're locking, like
yeah, thanks.
what we need in life. So thank you for being inspiring and positive. Yeah, do you have any shout outs to anyone?
Shout out to Creed and Labyrinth, and obviously our family, the supporters at home. Yeah, of course. And then obviously to you guys, the industry as a whole.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, shout out to every single dancer that's pushing during this tough time. Keep pushing, you're doing amazing. Yeah, and shout out to my schoolmates, you know who you are.
Yes, you must shout them out. Thank you guys so much. Have a good evening, and
you too.
See you soon at a
conference.
Thank you.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.